Hey, what's up? What's up, everybody? This is Jeff from BKJmacTV, and this is the BKJmac podcast experience, and this is episode 5 of season 2. And tonight we're going to be reviewing the new documentary that's hit Hulu. It's called Legacy, the true story of the LA Lakers. Now, this documentary was made in the response of the HBO fake TV series called Winning Time, The Rise of the Lakers Dynasty. Now, let me tell you, I didn't watch an episode of Winning Time, but from what I've heard and from the Lakers alum, especially from the Buss family, they have not acknowledged that TV series on HBO, so I will not acknowledge that story. What I will take the time to acknowledge is The Legacy, the true story of the LA Lakers, which is a 10-part docu-series that premiered on Hulu. These 10 episodes are very intense, very, very intense, let me tell you. It's riveting, let me tell you. Sometimes you see this nostalgic. Essentially, you see the history and how Jenie Buss bought the team in the late 70s and basically transformed the Lakers into a juggernaut 17 championship winning team. You know, it was just amazing to just see it, just to watch it, the time, the history, the coaches, the moments, the 1980 championship when Magic Johnson, Kareem won it, to Shaq and Kobe winning the championship, to Kobe and Paul Gasol, to LeBron and Anthony Davis winning the championship. It's different eras, different iterations of the Lakers dynasty winning the championship, and then you see the family dynamics, the twists and turns, just trying to see who was trying to figure it out, who and what, who was trying to decide the fate of the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, according to this article on CNN, written by Brian Lowry, this was published at 2:15 p.m., August 15, 2022. So here we go. If 2020 basketball nostalgia belonged to the Chicago Bulls, the Los Angeles Lakers have owned 2022 with HBO's Winning Time, The Rise of the Lakers Dynasty, They Call Me Magic, and now Legacy, the true story of the LA Lakers, a 10-part docu-series premiering on Hulu. Yet despite the opportunity to set the record straight, this exhaustive production puts too much emphasis on bench players, or really the front office, at the expense of the All-Stars. Not only does Lakers CEO Jenie Buss serve as an executive producer of Legacy, but all the children of late owner Jenie Buss sit for interviews along with the extensive roster of the team's former players, coaches, and high-profile opponents. Even so, director Antoine Farouk, whose documentary credits include the sports-related What's My Name, Muhammad Ali, has tipped the scales too heavily towards Jenie Buss and his determination to turn the NBA's showbiz franchise into a family business. The result is a series peppered with highlights, but that plays like too much of a licensed product, weighed down with Buss family reminiscing. Now, I disagree with that part, let's be honest. The Lakers are the Lakers because of the Buss family. I mean, you saw the intricate parts and how they shaped the franchise starting in 1979, and how Jenie Buss was able to direct his family members into trying to figure out how to turn the Lakers. It's not just the Lakers, but how to turn the franchise, how to turn the NBA into a mega house success. And it really starts with the family. And it's because of the Buss family, let's be honest, it's because of the Buss family the NBA is where it's at today. Without the Buss family, basically raising the season ticket prices, raising courtside prices, creating the glitz and the glamour, creating Showtime, bringing in high energy players like Magic Johnson, the NBA would not be what the NBA is today. So if anything, the NBA owes massive credit to the Buss family, to Jerry Buss and Jenie Buss, and to the whole entire Buss family. It's because of them the NBA is what it is today. So the fact that this reviewer said what he said, that it was too bogged down with the Buss family reminiscing, is absolutely false. I mean, yes, it talks about the Buss family extensively, but they're the owners of the Lakers. They're the ones that worked tirelessly, extensively, to build the Lakers what they are, and essentially the NBA to what it is today. So I definitely disagree with him on that point. I mean, it's well organized. Each episode gives its due to the players, to the moments. I felt like the first few episodes, which I'm going to discuss by episode, really goes into it extensively to make sure that every moment gets its just due and stuff like that in the documentary. So as we move further down in the article, in some respects, the whole exercise comes across as an extended response to Winning Time, seeking to reclaim the team's narrative after that show's exaggerated portrait of key Laker players and personnel, which too often bordered on parody. Jerry West, for example, who publicly criticized the HBO show, gets to calmly and openly discuss how demanding he was as a coach, saying of the players, "I felt sorry for them having to play for me," while others celebrate his brilliant eye for identifying talent and his executive capacity. Farouk also contextualized legacy in the broader sociological context of Los Angeles, a city of diverse communities pulled together by its collective love of the Lakers and Dodgers, at least when the teams are winning. From that perspective, the series has a good deal in common with last year's ESPN documentary Once Upon a Time in Queens, devoted to the Mets and their relationship with New York. He does do that. You could see the play and how they interacted with the Los Angeles neighborhood. Remember, they started off at the Forum, which is in Inglewood, California. And in Inglewood, California, it's dominated. The community, part of the inner city, black and brown, just going out to the Laker games. Celebrities going out to the Laker games. Let's be honest, before the Buss family operated the Lakers and bought the Lakers and turned it into a success, you couldn't really get that many fans in there. In fact, the NBA was teetering on financial bankruptcy. They couldn't sell seats. You'd be lucky if you get like 9,000 fans inside an arena to watch basketball. In the first episodes, they talked about how football was king in LA and across the country. College football was also king as well. No one was really watching basketball, and occasionally they would tune into when the Knicks came into town, and even then basketball just wasn't really there. It just wasn't really capturing the minds, the imagination of the general public, the masses. It was just almost relegated to a simple hobby. So in all honesty, when the Buss family comes in, they basically reshape the whole narrative of basketball and what it means to watch it and to celebrate it at an arena. And it's what they did. It's definitely what they did. They basically added a massive dose of personality to the NBA. Into the NBA, still a production already armored with personalities at times, races through the actual basketball to the point where if you blink twice during the portion devoted to the 80s teams, you might miss another championship. What's left then are the bits and pieces. How Buss turned the Forum, where the Lakers played, into the hottest night spot in a town of stars. The Lakers girls and other innovations that fellow owners rushed to copy, such as Buss jacking up the prices of floor seats from $10.50 to $65. in Magic Johnson's unprecedented 25-year contract, prompting teammates Jamal Wilkes and the rest of the squad to ask of Johnson's close ties to the owner, is he one of us or is he one of them? Legacy shoots a much higher percentage when the subject turns to basketball, with Julius Erving, aka Dr. J, praising Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as the greatest of all time, and Celtics star Larry Bird expressing a similar sense of awe, saying he had hoped his brother saw him standing on the court near the Lakers' big man. 6 of the 10 episodes were made available enough to get through the Lakers' down years after Abdul-Jabbar retired and Johnson's HIV diagnosis, and into the signing of Shaquille O'Neal and drafting of teen sensation Kobe Bryant, triggering a title-winning resurgence. Even then, there is much interest seemingly in Coach Phil Jackson's personal relationship with Jenie Buss. Nor could the filmmakers resist adding the arbitrary Hollywood pizza paparazzis to the proceedings, with celebrity Lakers fans Rob Lowe, Flea, and Snoop Dogg among the voices receiving ample screen time. For the Lakers faithful, or frankly anyone interested in an NBA surge from the Magic Bird matchups through today, there's still a lot to like here, but Legacy ultimately proves too committed to the Buss family's portion of this sprawling story. In that sense, the question Wilkes posed regarding Johnson echoes in a slightly different way for viewers, namely, is this being made for us or is it being made for them? In a sense, I mean, they talked about the Buss family a lot, but they were so interconnected with the Lakers. This is the Lakers. This is not a Magic Johnson documentary. This is not a Kobe Bryant documentary. This is not a LeBron James documentary, or Shaquille O'Neal documentary, or Larry Bird documentary, where each episode was stated like the Michael Jordan documentary. This one was about the Lakers, the franchise, the Lakers, and the family behind the franchise was the Buss family, is the Buss family, starting with Jerry Buss, who bought the team in '79. That's what this documentary is about. There were highlights, there were moments in the Lakers dynasty that impacted the Buss family. When Magic asked for a trade, it affected the father, Jerry Buss. When they won the championship, it was Jerry Buss that worked behind the scenes with Jerry West and Pat Riley trying to get the team a championship. We saw that. The documentary explored that very well. Were there issues, were there drama behind the scenes? Absolutely. And that's what the documentary played parts to. That could they have moved faster? Could they have really dedicated more intricate moments? Like, instead of just doing flash moments when it came to the basketballs. I mean, let's be honest. I felt like I wish they would have focused more on their championship runs than a little bit more on the Buss family. But you gotta understand, this is about the Buss family and the Lakers. If you wanted to focus on the Lakers championship games and their seasons, then that would be a whole couple of episodes. I feel like 10 episodes wasn't enough. Maybe they should have did 15 episodes or maybe 20 episodes to really dive into each championship Lakers season. Because remember, they won the championship 17 times, and they did their due diligence. They could have done more on the basketball side, focusing on the individual championships, but they did what they could do, And I really wished I would have seen more of the 90s Lakers, after Magic, after Kareem retired. Because when Magic Johnson announced that he had HIV, he had to retire. So the Lakers was in flux. They were losing. Their season was underwhelming. But I wanted to see more of that young team. I wanted to see games. I wanted to see more of it. And they didn't show more of that. There was a moment where they focused on Kobe Bryant and the issue between his teammates and how there was an alienation, and whatnot. But let's be honest, Kobe was just dedicated to the game of basketball. He's Catholic, and he was just dedicated to the game. And, he had that devotion. And his other teammates just wanted to have fun and party. And let's be honest, if you're going to have fun and party, you actually got to win something. And the guys that were partying and having fun, they didn't win anything. Shaq, let's be honest, he didn't win anything. He came to LA after the 96 offseason, and he was having fun, partying, doing all these things. And what did you win? There was no championships. He was too busy partying and stuff like that. While Kobe was in the gym working out, he felt like the goal was to win a championship, and the other guys on his team was all about partying. But eventually, things changed when Phil Jackson came. He was able to bring everything together and say, "Hey, wait a minute. Let's dedicate ourselves to a central message. Let's all work and dedicate ourselves to winning a championship." And that's what happened. They won the championship in 2000, 2001, and 2002. They did what they needed to do. And even though they fell short in 2003 when they lost to the San Antonio Spurs, they did what they tried to do. They came back in 2004. They went to the championship game again. They lost to the Pistons. And then Shaq left town. Everybody left town. Kobe re-signed to a max contract, and they tried to rebuild the team. Phil Jackson was gone. They hired Rudy T to be coach, but then he left after a year. And eventually Phil Jackson came back, and things changed. And eventually they brought Paul Gasol in. They brought some new players in, and then they won. They went to the playoffs. They changed more players, and eventually things were able to change. They won championships. They went back to the finals in 2008, lost in Game 6. Came back to the championship. They won against Orlando in 5 games, and they won the championship again in Game 7 in LA. So overall, they did what they had to do. They got swept in the semifinals in 2011, but they still wanted a championship. They still wanted to fight. They still wanted to compete. And looking at it overall, this dynasty, this was built by the Buss family. There was something I didn't like by the Buss family, by Jenie Buss. They were supposed to bring Phil Jackson back for his third stint. I remember that moment. And in the episode, they talk about it. And Phil Jackson was close to being back, and then they snuck around and they hired Mike D'Antoni. Mike D'Antoni, yeah, he's a good offensive coach, but he can't coach defense. I watched them coach. Can't coach a lick of defense. It's all about scoring, who could outscore, and there's just no discipline on defense. So it was one of the worst pick ever by Jenie Buss, and it was a waste of Kobe's great years. Honestly, Phil should have been there. He should have been the head coach. They should have retooled the roster. This guy, Jenie Buss, had an obsession with Andrew Bynum. He thought Andrew Bynum was going to be that guy. He was going to be the stellar that was going to be the beast that was going to ignite the Lakers. And then that quickly fizzled. He realized how dumb he was. Let's be honest. That was one of the, I don't know, him and Mitch Kupchak. Sometimes I look at them and I'm just like, wow. Well, Mitch Kupchak is with the Charlotte Hornets, and look how they're doing. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. And overall, it was a waste of Kobe's great years. And when he retired, I hated the fact that he retired with the Lakers winning that few wins. Should have been way more. Should have went out in the playoffs. But look who was in charge of the team: Jim Buss and his brother and Mitch Kupchak. Guys couldn't do anything for the Lakers. They talked about Kobe's passing in 2020 and how it impacted the Lakers and how it impacted LA and how it impacted the whole world. And it was deeply profound. He lost his daughter and seven others on that plane, on that helicopter. Then the LeBron James AD had the message was, we're going to win one for him, we're going to win one for Kobe. And that's what they did in the bubble. When the pandemic happened, everything was shut down. But then they got to the bubble in Orlando, and they beat through the teams. They beat through Portland. They beat through the Rockets. They ran through the Denver Nuggets. And they beat Miami to win the championship. They won their 17th championship. Overall, they did it for Kobe. And they did it for the city of LA. And they brought a championship back to Los Angeles. So this Laker dynasty, this true documentary was really good. I enjoyed it so much. It was an interesting 10 episodes. Maybe it should have been 15. Maybe it should have been 20 to go more in depth into each championship season. But overall, I enjoyed it so much, and I was glad that I had the opportunity of watching it. I'll tell you the episode list if I could pull it up. Episode 1 is real estate mogul Dr. Jenie Buss buys the Lakers, drafts rookie sensation Magic Johnson, and welcomes his kids into the family business, facing dramatic setbacks. Episode 2, after Magic Johnson shocks the media and asks to be traded, Dr. Buss does damage control as the team welcomes a new coach and vital role players who cement the Lakers' legacy. Episode 3, Dr. Buss, a self-made man from a broken home and humble beginnings, is shocked when his eldest son quits the family business after trade rumors upsets the team. Episode 4, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar retires, creating doubts about the team's future. As the Buss kids pull away from their dad in business and life, Coach Riley becomes distracted with the Hollywood life. Episode 5, a new era dawns as gangster rap explodes and the Lakers draft a gritty point guard who embodies a cultural shift as Dr. Buss struggles to rebuild his kids' return to the business. Episode 6, expectations build when Dr. Buss's new superstar comes to Hollywood and the teen rookie makes bold claims as the family business expands. Dr. Buss kids get all trying to organize the new Laker organization. Episode 7, a major front office change threatens the team's chances of making history. Dr. Buss' eldest son seeks to impress his father while family tensions brew. Episode 8, a retooled lineup and new coach attempts to live up to the Laker legacy as Kobe Bryant shoots for the record books, but he won't be content until they win another title. Episode 9, an aging Dr. Buss cements his legacy while the franchise seeks another historic title amid dysfunction on and off the court. Episode 10, Jenie Buss encounters upheaval in her personal and professional life as she struggles to balance running a family and a business as she attempts to find equilibrium within the Laker organization. Overall, this was an intense series. It's on Hulu, 10 episodes. Please tune in, and I believe you will enjoy this so much. Thank you for listening to this episode 5 of Season 2 of this podcast experience of the review of the Laker documentary, which is titled Legacy, the true story of the Los Angeles Lakers. It's on Hulu. Please tune in and watch. Peace, love, always, one.